Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, I want to cover another area which is called what is a curse. Now I'm going over all the different free readings that I offer out there, and we do an energy reading, not a psychic reading. It's not about what your future is, who your next mate is, whether your marriage is working, etc. I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in opening myself up to people's personal lives. There are psychics you can go to for that type of thing, and it's probably a good idea. And we're going to talk about psychics and astrology and other proven things as well. But let's talk about curses. Now, we've talked about cross conditions, and that's different than curses. A cross condition is an accumulation of negative energy around you from lifestyles, from all those great family, and those wonderful friends that dump their garbage on you. Well, a curse is quite different. Now, if you reach a high enough level of being crossed, oftentimes this turns into a curse. But that is a minor factor, meaning if you are crossed for so many years and have so much negativity, it kind of is a curse and is something that penetrates and sticks in you. Now, a curse is a specific type of dangerous, evil energy that is stuck into your energetic system. So, while a cross condition is kind of a forming of energy around you, kind of, I call them these black energy sheets, you could say, and they keep forming stronger and stronger bubbles around you until you're entirely immersed and closed into a tight black bubble, and this causes complete blockages in your life. Makes everything a battle to get the most simplest things. You run into problems. If there's a person in a room that is hassled or something happens to them, or 50 people may get the correct dinner, you're going to get the bad one. Well, this is a cross condition. Now, a curse is different. A curse is put on you by somebody deliberately. Now, this can be done, again, by just people thinking negative thoughts about you all the time. It's often, in terms of the traditional way, it's a practitioner. And you got to remember that all of this blends together now. And the entire evil practitioner force now that is out there is converted over to radionics. So you're being attacked by radionic practitioners because it's easier. They're not doing complicated rituals, generally. They're doing that. So that's the new breed of scum out there that's using this. But there's plenty of the old world types as well. You can find them online. You can contact them easily, particularly people in the voodoo and Santeria. Voodoo is a kind of a vengeful belief system. People get into voodoo and they cross these lines of what's good and bad, and they become very nasty. It's just the way, all it is. I mean, some of the most nastiest people out there, not to criticize voodoo and Santeria, which of course these people believe in attacking people and hurting them. It's hard to say. It depends on the practitioner of for what reason. So the whole idea, whether they're justified or not. But one of the nastiest people out there, my contact with them in the 90s, etc., were the peace-loving so-called Wiccans. Wiccans are very quick to curse people that they don't like, and it's very hypocritical. But the point is, there are no good people, no good magical systems, etc. There's individuals who have risen above the stinking mire of feces and urine into a higher state of consciousness. Those few people who have reached the state of gnosis and who are not vengeful or nasty just for the sake of doing it or for egotistical reasons. So, a curse is when someone particularly puts negative energy in you, puts evil spirits around you, and these things constantly victimize you. Now, these things can manifest in many, many different ways. If you're cursed, you need to take care of it. Now, we have lots of tools. One of the problems with being cursed is the fact is it's kind of like getting over cancer. And the reason I say that, a cursing and high-level cross conditions you could call spiritual cancer. It's deadly. It's nasty. Does it kill you right away? Well, everybody has cancer growing in their body probably since birth. Then there's at times where it may rear its ugly head and try and kill you. You then use different techniques, generally allopathic poisons and horrible things to destroy your immune system, but it does kill the cancer too. Now, if you survive these treatments, you never are fully healed. This is one of the problems with, and of course, the reason why that is because we live in an evil prison society, so there's constant negativity around you, so you can never get rid of negativity 100%. It's a war, baby, and that's what we're in. Anybody that thinks different than that wants to hide their head behind other people that have guns or silly belief systems that don't protect them. Well, that's not. So the point is you always are a recovering cancer victim when you're cursed. So that means you have to have constant vigilance against it. You know, we have a complete system, the Trinity amulets that people need desperately in their life. It's a small investment for a tool you're going to use every day of your life. Look into it, get it. Everybody needs this, which includes an uncrossing amulet, a curse removing and protection amulet, and an empowerment of your chakras and third eyes. This is what keeps you alive. Plain and simple. Now, curses are put on. Now, anybody can do curses. It doesn't have to be these more grayish and black traditions I've mentioned. It can be from anybody who pays somebody to do it. Now, the effect it has on you is very dependent upon your auric strength of fields, what you're doing, etc., etc. But let's not play games here, people. Curses kill all the time. They make people sick. They degrade you into low states of energy where diseases can take you out. Believe me, when you curse somebody, and let's say they have a heart problem, well, the energy goes to the weakest part of that person. There's extreme cases of this with demons who feed off of you. Now, someone sends a demon to you and feeds off of you. Well, they love misery, so they're going to make your life stressful, misery. They love drug addicts. They love sex perverts. All the things that all in society that we have, or most likely, I would say 98% of them are connected to outside energies. You know, this is the Vindigo. They're there. They're everywhere. They're in you. They're in your enemies. That's right, people. So this is something we have to face and something that we don't want to. One of the problems of society is we've accepted the fact that evil is stronger than good. This was perpetrated in the 70s by the immortal evil that can't be stopped. And this was in the, quote, slasher films, the Michael Myers. All of these kind of people that are out there are unstoppable evil. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but because people are weak and you believe in comic book religions and deviant priests and goofball books that mean absolutely nothing, you empower this even more. So, these are forces that are have to be met with, and a small, strong group of people could fight them, but that doesn't exist. There are large, powerful groups of ignoramuses, or I should say they're empowered mostly by the fact of their grouping together with kind of primitive goofball technologies. But since, as usual, the, quote, good, and I don't know if they're good or not, I'm not even sure there is an energy understanding as good or positive. There certainly is, but there's very few people that actually grab that weapon and use it. And those usually that do are not here. They're in the graveyards. So, where most heroes end up. So the whole idea is that this is the reality that we have to face. Now, they put this in you. It's a cancer. It grows. It can come from anywhere, any place. It's important to find out if you have a curse. Now, when I was first doing my readings, I expected to find a lot more curses than I do. Curses at this point are surprisingly rare. Probably about 5% of the people that I actually do readings on have curses. I thought this was more be like 25%. Everybody is crossed to some degree, and there's probably 70% of the people out there, well, let's even go, 85% of the people out there have high cross conditions. Now, it may not even be affecting them yet. I've a few young people that I have did readings for had very high cross conditions, probably from lifestyle, probably they were negative, who knows, maybe they were drug takers, or things that go on with that. areas of negativity, but it wasn't affecting their life yet. Now, what does all this mean? Now, when you are crossed and cursed to a high level, it affects another reading, which I'll go into in another audio. And that is the fact of manifesting abilities, because this directly affects your life. If you can't manifest, well, your life is hell. If you're manifesting, and this includes everything you want and want to achieve in your goals in life, as well as manifesting high states of well-being. So when you're crossed and cursed, it works at your health factors and deteriorates them, making you vulnerable to everything and eventually creating all sorts of illnesses and other problems that take you out, meaning you die from it. And you're not dying from the illnesses directly, even though that's what scientists, the physical world bozo, these feces-ridden, stinking urine people out there. But what's killing you is your energies are so low that you're vulnerable to everything. So this is how everything happens. Your energies go way down. You get afflicted by mental and physical diseases. Mental diseases are pandemic as well. The amount of people that are bipolar, schizophrenic is humongous, and there's nothing to treat this. They give them neutering drugs, and they neuter you. You're still thinking the same way, but you really can't do anything because you're kind of a lump of poo. But that destroys your life. So this is very important to understand. So curses are outside energies that are stuck into you. You could almost visualize like a voodoo doll. That a curse is an energy, and in that pin that they stick in you is this toxic energy that works on you. Now, this can work on you within months. It can work on you within years. We just don't know. It depends on how you fight it. But generally, the process isn't something that you're cursed and you die next week or so. Now, this has happened. People that have bad heart conditions all of a sudden get curses on them and they die within weeks or months. Or they get into a car accident. Or something happens where people are actually killed. This is real, people. This is a fact of life. Now, this isn't easy, but cursing is pretty easy, and using negative energy and a negative reality is pretty easy. Now, how fast it works is another goal. If you want to be specific when you do things like this, it's difficult to target certain areas of people to get things to happen in those types of situations. Now, this has nothing to do with justice and retribution. This is evil magic of attacking somebody. But maybe people deserve it. Maybe these are your typical society corrupt criminals. So the fact is that that's justice. That's retribution. If someone has hurt you unfairly, you deserve retribution. And since you can't get these in many, if not all, court situations, you have to take things into your own spiritual hands. And let's make that clear. Obviously, it would be a nice world if we could do like was done in the Norse sagas and so forth, where you went out and took out your enemies. But you can't do that. And that caused problems even in ancient times. People were outlawed. People were executed. You can't do that. But what you can do is spiritual justice and retribution. And it is your duty as a positive person to do that. Well, that's just another little aside there. But let's get back to cursing. Cursing is that. And they insert this pin in you. It's a cancer. And cancer is a very good anomaly. Not anomaly. I can't think of the word right now. But it's a very good comparison. Because cancer doesn't kill you instantly. Cancer, as I've mentioned, is in you all your life. Now, it's sometimes it then becomes and powers and grows and grows and grows to the point where it takes over your entire system and kills you. That's how a curse works. Now, you can check on this. It's critical to do it. I just checked a person who's having very serious problems, and smartly, he decided to get the trinity of protection out there. Now, these are necessity tools that everybody get. Don't wait until you're crossed and cursed to get your protection tools. Do it now before you become infected with this Wendigo evil that's everywhere. So it's very important to do that. And it's not about selling products here. It's about saving your life. It's just like having these products, just like eating right, taking the proper supplements, getting the proper education, being careful in life, working out, etc. These are the spiritual tools you need to make a well-rounded and positive life. A lot of people are physically fit and they get cancer. A lot of people stop eating meat, and one of the problems is the toxins the meat caused then release in their body and they get cancer. I mean, it goes on and on. So you need more than just doing the physical level realities. This is all spiritual, what I'm talking about. This is considered quacky mumbo-jumbo woo-woo garbage by the imbecilic, scientific, feces-ridden people that we have out there. But like everything else in life, this will prove to be the norm as we continue to radically change our entire realities. The tools are out there. I mean, I offer everything that you need in life. And those who are smart enough that avail themselves of these services prosper. But if you allow yourself, and I get cases of people who have been cursed and crossed for 20, 30 years. Well, you're really sick. You're spiritually sick. And you have a 20% chance of recovering. Don't be one of those. Get out there and empower yourself. Get the many tools that we have. Yeah, you need to eat right and exercise, and you need to do all the positive things in life. That is not enough. You need to make sure that you protect yourself from these informational, energetic fields of destruction, so that you protect yourself and make sure you don't get really sick and then have to fight for survival. So hopefully that's clarified what a curse is. We're going to go through the entire list of what I check here on my free readings, and I encourage people to get these free readings. And if you don't hear from me for one reason, make sure you contact me again. I have all sorts of email problems and other things, and I am very busy, but I take the time out to see and let you know where you're at. And don't take these things lightly. If you're told something, this is 100% honest information that I'm passing to you that you need to know. This isn't in any way a business situation. Frankly, this is all a big pain for me to do, but it's an important service to help people. We can't present or give products to people. We don't have that kind of support. I'd love to, but giving you something means you don't value it. I've done this in the past, and then one person even told me, well, I found this other course that I paid $150 for that I like better, after I gave him a $300 course. This is the kind of nonsense you run into because you don't value it. We live in a society where you pay, and you pay a lot for something of value. If it's valuable, you don't pay a few dollars. You don't pay a few hundred for it. You pay thousands for it, plain and simple. And we need to understand that as a reality that is out there. So all of that's very important. Make sure you get your free reading. I make tools available just about every price range. We try and help people with financing, etc. You need to take control of your life. You need to be one of those people who are prospering, who can live away from the corrupt society and do things out of justice and gnosis and what is right. And the only way you're going to do that if you're strong spiritually. And this spiritualism turns into a materialistic or a solid reality so that you can follow through. I'm afraid nice spiritual thoughts don't put food in your belly or a roof over your head. But they can if they're empowered and you're using the tools to keep yourself strong so you don't have to follow along with the crowd of corrupt scum out there. As usual, you can always contact me with any kind of questions you have. Until next time.